I never really know how personal to make these videos. You know, sometimes I feel like I could be more open, and sometimes I feel like I should be less. And it's sort of hard for me to decide, but I gotta be a little honest. You know, if these things are gonna be therapeutic, which is one of my goals of these videos, and if I'm really going to grow through vulnerability, then I have to be authentic and I have to be vulnerable. And so finding that sweet spot of how vulnerable I want to be, that's a little challenging for me. But I want to be vulnerable enough to talk to you about my experience. If I can't talk to you about my experience deeply and honestly, then I don't have anything to offer. I don't have anything to contribute. This whole world of YouTube and personal development and spirituality and healing, I have nothing to contribute if I am not willing to be vulnerable and uncomfortable. So I'm going to talk about depression. I've been depressed for a long time. And I didn't even know how depressed I was for many of those years. I started having this awakening in 2014. And I started meeting truly happy people, truly passionate people who were in love with life. I started coming across these communities, and I started learning about some basic spiritual concepts that I'd never been exposed to before, and my whole world opened up. And it opened up to the beauty and the love and the joy that's possible all the time. I am surrounded by joy and love and beauty right now. All this shit in this dirt. This dirt is full of joy and love and beauty. And the only reason I don't see it is because of what's going on within me. It's perspective. That's all it is perspective. I could have the perspective that this is just fucking dirt, or I could have the perspective that this dirt is the source of all life. And give thanks for it and see the beauty. It's all about perspective. And when I started this awakening, I was opened up to that. I was opened up to the endless beauty, the endless love of life that is possible for all people. I didn't even know it was possible. I lived my whole childhood surrounded by sad, depressed people, living in a place where people put their careers before their personal lives, living in a place where people commuted all week and were stuck in traffic for 3 hours a day, and just unfulfilled, emotionally flat, spiritually numb people. That's what I was surrounded by for the first 27 years of my life. And during this awakening, it's been wonderful. It's been so beautiful. And I've been so grateful to see the love and the beauty. I've experienced more joy in the past 3 years of my life than I think I did in the 27 before it. It's been amazing, but it's also been a light. It's been a spotlight shining right on my depression, right on the negative thoughts, right on the fear, right on the hate, right on the trauma, just fucking lighting that shit up and putting it on stage. And I can't get away from it. And I kind of feel a little bipolar. Whereas before, I was just down here all the fucking time, depressed. And in my mind, I want to be up here all the fucking time on cloud nine. That's not really how life is. But I keep getting further up. I keep experiencing more and more time and energy up here. But then I still end up back here. I'm fucking bipolar now, you know? I just keep going all over the place. The range of emotional experience has exploded for me since I started having this awakening. And I've really been a depressed person. I'm depressed right now. I keep talking about this shit in past tense. I'm happy and I'm enthusiastic, I'm excited, I'm going to Oregon for this fucking eclipse. But I'm fucking depressed, man. I sit in my car and I feel the weight of it. You know, sometimes I have to just really focus and build that will and that energy just to fucking make breakfast, just to start my car and go to the gas station, just to find a place to sleep at night. It's like this sadness, this fucking steel blanket of sadness is just laying on me all the fucking time. And I can break through. I can break through at times, and it's beautiful. I never used to break through that much. So I'm so thankful for all of these, the increasing amount of time in my life that I'm experiencing love and joy. And I just want to keep increasing that time, and I want to help others experience more of that time if I can. But I'm depressed. I am. And I want to help people, but I never want to be one of these fake people. I have a feeling a lot of people on YouTube in this personal development world are faking it. I find these people all the time, the positive thinking people, the positive thoughts only all the time. You ask them how they're doing and they're clearly fucking miserable and unhappy, and they say, and you see their body language change, they're slumped down, and then you ask them, oh, how you doing? And they step out like, oh, I'm great, man. Life is beautiful. Totally blessed. So much gratitude. It's like, dude, you're fucking depressed. You're fucking depressed right now because some fucking hard shit's happening in your life, and you're so afraid of acknowledging. You're so afraid of thinking a negative thought because it might attract something bad. There's already something bad here. It's the fucking misery in your heart that you're ignoring. It's already here. You can't avoid it. You can't prevent it from coming by avoiding it. It's already here. I've been depressed for 30 years. And significant traumas from my childhood, significant insights into what I've lost. You know, I have been grieving for the past 2 months for all the things that I lost. All the things that I never experienced and never had because I was depressed, because I was anxious, because I was afraid, because I didn't think I was good enough, because I hated myself, because I wanted to end my life. I think a lot more people have suicidal thoughts than they're ever willing to admit. And it took me a long time to get to the point where I felt comfortable telling people that. I'm surprised I just fucking said that with the camera on. I have suicidal thoughts. Not currently. I've never wanted to act upon it. I've never even attempted to act upon it. But it's a regular occurrence in my life that things get so dark and so heavy that my mind just goes to this place and says, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why are we here? What is all this shit for? What is it for? Some days I'm so paralyzed by the question of what the fuck is this and what is it for, that I look around and see people and think, how are you doing this? How are you keeping your head up? How are you breathing? How are you walking? How are you working? How are you supporting your family without being crushed to the weight of this fucking question of what the fuck is this? It's so big. How are you doing anything? How are you even standing up under the weight of the unknown? And it's because that's what life is. It's standing up under the weight of the unknown. It's acknowledging my feelings for what they are. Not hiding from them. Not hiding them. Not feeling shame for them or judging them. This is how I feel. This is where I'm at in my life. This is who I am. I'm a beautiful, infinite being in a beautiful forest who's been miserable for 30 years, more days than not, who's hated himself and who hasn't wanted to live. And I want to make a commitment to life. And I may have to make that commitment every day for the next 40 years before it comes automatic. But for so long, I've been choosing fear over life. It's not just life, it's life and its opposite. I choose life. I'm running out of time on my camera. We'll talk more later. Much love.